For as long as he can remember, Bermudian triathlete Tyler Smith has dreamt of competing in the Olympics. And for the 25-year-old, the idea of making his debut on the biggest stage of his young career in the iconic City of Lights was a dream come true.
The route's great. It's in the heart of Paris. Swim in the River Seine, which is going to be a tricky one. There's quite a big current in the Seine, so it's going to be an interesting swim, and it's not necessarily going to be just about who's the fastest swimmer. There's also going to be a lot of tactics that come into play, just navigating that river current and picking the fastest lines. The bike course, up and down the Champs-Élysées, which is absolutely iconic in the world of cycling. It's where the Tour de France usually finishes. So that's, a pleasure to be able to ride there. I never thought I really would, and it's something growing up watching cycling, you idolize your heroes that get to ride up and down there. So that's going to be a thrill. And then the run's going to be, fast and flat.
Ranked 86th in the world, Tyler and his team came into this week's event with a plan. Opting to skip the opening ceremony, they set up camp in Poissy, about 30 kilometers outside of Paris, to focus on the task at hand.
We haven't really been too focused on outcome goals in terms of positioning and placing, but there's certainly things within the race that I'd like to accomplish. So making sure I'm aggressive on the swim, coming out in a good position, riding smart, towards the front of the groups, staying safe through the corners and on the cobblestones, and then, on the run, pacing that well, doing what I can to get myself, as high a finish as possible.
But when reports emerged of rising levels of pollution in the River Seine in the days leading up to today's scheduled start, it would come as no surprise that instead of heading to the starting line at the Alexander III Bridge, Tyler and his fellow competitors in the men's individual triathlon awoke to the news that the race had been postponed. An announcement from World Triathlon, the sport's governing body, earlier today read, quote, "Despite the improvement on the water quality levels in the last hours, the readings at some points of the swim course are still above the acceptable limits." End quote. Heavy rain in Paris on Friday and Saturday is being blamed for the spike in E. coli levels in the Seine. As a result, the men's event has been moved to tomorrow at 10:45 a.m. Paris time, 5:45 a.m. Bermuda time, immediately following the women's event. Unfazed by the changes, Tyler said in a statement released by the Bermuda Olympic Association, quote, "One of the hallmarks of great athletes is their ability to adapt to changing circumstances. In triathlon, we're racing in an open environment, so we're used to adapting. The later start time means we will be running in the heat of the day. Hydration, fueling, and pace management during the run will be more crucial. I'm getting my head in the right place and getting ready for tomorrow." End quote. A decision confirming whether the men's and women's races will indeed go ahead tomorrow as planned will be made following a briefing from officials from the concerned bodies at 4 a.m. Paris time. Julie Matthews-Borchard for Bermuda Broadcasting News.